Why is Donald Trump saying he's going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America? He's going to retake the Panama Canal. He's going to buy Greenland, or either take it by force, or he's going to make Canada the 51st state. And to me, the answer is very simple. It's all a big distraction. It's a distraction to the low information voter who voted for him on the promise that he would lower grocery prices. They're not going to come down. If they do, they're not going to come down in a very noticeable way. It's a distraction to the mainstream media so they don't focus on the corrupt business dealings, his corrupt and really dangerous cabinet nominees, the 15 billionaires in his cabinet. It's a distraction for the news of the week, which is Jimmy Carter, the contrasting character between a truly a religious man, a man of faith, a man with principle, a man with dignity, and a man with respect, versus Donald Trump, a liar, a cheater, a adulterer, a sexual abuser, a con man. The list goes on. The list goes on and on. It's a distraction from the Jack Smith report that his judge that he appointed in Florida has chosen not to release or block, at least part of it. And it's a distraction to his base. Some of his base, the Steve Bannon, the elite MAGA, the Steve Bannons, the Laura Loomers, the Charlie Kirks, some of them have become weary. Well, we didn't vote for Elon Musk and the reversal on the H-1B visa and all this. It's designed to give them something else to rally around. And he's done this many, many times before. This is what good demagogues do. An example, go to coal country and promise them you're going to get all their jobs back. And of course the jobs are not going to come back. And I don't think he had any intention of bringing their jobs back. But in substitute for that, let me give you something, some junk food that doesn't really add value to your life or provide for your family, but it's something that maybe soothes something in your soul, your inner racist. Let me talk about the immigrants and the brown people in the democratic cities. Let me pull at your nationalistic tendencies, and let me talk about CRT, DEI, bathrooms, and trans this, trans that. It's all a distraction and a substitute for the shortcomings and the failure to deliver on promises. And the Democrats need to be aware of this, and they need to expose it, call it out. And when he doesn't do what he says he's going to do, they need to push and prod and say, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done the blanket tariffs on Mexico and Canada? Why haven't you did the mass deportation as you promised? Those are questions that need to be pushed and asked continuously to kind of basically a psychological warfare to kind of force him to do it. Because all these things he's talked about doing, if he were to do them, they'll be very unpopular and they'll be very detrimental to the economy. And that is the simplest and easiest way for the Democrats to get back in power. Second point, it's very dangerous to use this as a distraction, because this is what our adversaries, Xi Jinping of China and Vladimir Putin of Russia, want. They want divisions between America and Europe, America and the Allies. And this is what he's doing. What message does it send to an allied country of the United States? That the United States is going to bully and push around our friends to our north, our south, more than we're going to push back against Russia and his tyranny. How can the United States lecture another country about invading a country and taking their land if the president of the United States is threatening to invade and take other countries' land, another country's land? And it really is, it weakens America. It may seem like America first, American nationalism, exceptionalism, but when you do critical thinking, you dig deeper, you see how weak it makes us. Because the United States is a laughing stock. United States word can no longer be counted upon. We won't live up to our treaty obligations. We won't live up to what we said we were going to do. We don't live up to our values. So then the question for the allies become, why should we listen to the United States? If they're going to bully us and push us around, why should we care what they have to say? In turn, that weakens our influence. And that gives China and Russia more influence, because their governments are terrible, but their governments are more stable in the sense they're not changing back and forth, doing this and going back on it and doing this. They have stable corrupt, evil leadership, but they are more dependable than the United States, at least in the last 10 years since Trump has come onto the scene. It's very dangerous. It's very stupid, but it's all a big distraction. And I really doubt he's going to do any of it. I think he's going to pretend to do it, because in this day and age, pretending to do something is more valuable, and messaging it out is more valuable than actually doing it. You can do something good and nobody really care. You cannot do something but say you did something and people believe it. Keep our eye on the ball, and don't forget to always link JD Vance to Trump, link Elon Musk to Trump, make them all as unpopular as you can for 2026 and for 2028. Don't lose sight of the big goal is 2026 and 2028.